We are the Moonanites, and our culture is advanced beyond all that you can possibly comprehend with 100% of your brain.
Oh.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to Colin and Greg Live right here on Kinda Funny Games on Twitch. Twitch.tv/KindaFunnyGames. Greg, I worked out real hard today, and I'm feeling a little bit exhausted.
You came in here and you showed me some of the definition.
Yeah, I'm getting a little definition back here in my ribs.
Team fat.
Ribs. Getting a little bit of definition right here. That's not my stomach. It's my ribs. Not my stomach. My ribs.
I like this voice. Please talk the rest of the show in this voice. Not my stomach, my ribs. Not my stomach, my ribs.
Greg,
yeah.
I want to thank everyone for coming here and hanging out with us today. We do appreciate your time. There's a metric shit ton of news.
I saw your links here. Yeah.
Biggest news of all, Nick Leddy signed by the Islanders for 7 years for $35.5 million, locked up.
This is not
until
that's
2022.
Not the biggest news.
We very much
be the biggest news.
Welcome, Nick Leddy, and well, you've been on the team for a year, but now we have you forever. And he was on the Blackhawks. He's only 23 years old. He won a Stanley Cup.
Not my stomach, my ribs.
Not my stomach, my ribs. Not my stomach, my ribs. Now, Greg.
Nick, make a shirt right now.
Greg, let me start out
Holy
with this.
cow.
What happened?
We just got a $200 tip from Anomaly Studios. You guys showed your true colors on the Final Beyond and won yourself this fan for life. Hope to work with you guys very soon with tender knee-touching love, Anomaly Studios. Thank you so much. Holy crap.
We appreciate that.
That was an unexpected Tuesday morning surprise, Portillo.
Time to go.
All right. It's been a good one.
We appreciate that
Play
very
them out,
much.
Moonanites.
Now, Greg.
Yeah.
I kicked pretty. I'm going to start with a life lesson.
Oh, good.
Today.
Good.
Sometimes it's important.
You're bringing the toy up.
A real man or a real woman.
Oh, God.
Must know when they're wrong. Right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
They must know when they're wrong.
Right.
Yesterday, we were talking about Bangor, Maine.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
Now, I had friends up there, and I lived in Maine, and have certainly been corrected many times by people, including my own mother, who lived in Maine for a long time, being like, they don't really say Bangor.
Yeah.
Well, I was starting to look it up last time. I'm really more curious about this.
Sure.
Because, who's right? There's people that are saying, I'm wrong. A few people tweet at me.
Yeah.
And this ends up that this is a super contentious thing.
Really?
With people from Bangor. And I think what ended up happening over time, because so there was this show called Men from Maine on this radio station in Massachusetts.
Okay.
And it's called Warren and Wally. And they used to do this thing called Men from Maine where they would basically make fun of people from Maine, and they propagated this accent. This was an accent that a lot of people from central and northern Maine are made fun of for using. It's over-exaggerated.
Okay.
I think that it's similar in the sense that Bangor became Bangor, which became Bangor, but no one says that.
Okay.
Or at least few people up there say that. Even though I've been corrected by people from Maine, apparently this is not a thing. And apparently it's very offensive to some people from central Maine. There's an awesome video that just went up about last month or so.
Okay.
Where people,
I thought you meant yesterday. Somebody responded with a video.
This really crisply made video, we should share it with everyone, where they talk about how they're sick of hearing this contentious thing and they need a theme song for the city, and they made this whole thing. So this is the thing. So real men and real women must admit when they're mistaken.
And you're admitting that you're mistaken.
And I'm mistaken.
Oh, that's nice. Well, that's why I like you, Colin, is that you do this all the time. You change your opinions on things if the right information is presented. You do your thing. You're not like me. Rigmarole? I'm going to say rigmarole. I don't care what you say.
Well, rigmarole is our own word.
Yeah, exactly. We did it here on Kinda Funny. Before we get into the real news, too, I have some other stuff, too. Friend of the show, Rob Paulson, he was on Game Over Greggy's show, does Talkin' Tunes over on iTunes. Thanks for the resub, Frank the Tank. Rob just launched his own Patreon page over there for Talkin' Tunes. I wanted to give him a quick shout out. It's Yakko Pinky, just like his Twitter handle there. So you can head over there, support him making his show, making it better, doing more content, just like we're lucky enough to do. It's awesome to see Rob get on that train. We
Absolutely
got the chance to talk to him a little bit about when he was here, and he was very, very interested. I'm glad he's out there making more content for everybody. I love that guy a lot.
Fantastically smart.
Yeah, jeez.
And just a intelligent, funny, kind dude.
Yeah.
Really one of the great dudes that we've met through this silly little show that we do.
Now here's questions, Colin.
Yes.
Yesterday, we did the big announcement that we had 3 Paxies passes that we were ready to give away. They're from Cher_lol. Cher, everybody knows her as one of our mods. She sent them in. We wanted to get them out of the chamber, clear them out. They're not the Friday giveaway.
Okay.
But then we have
the Friday giveaway is pretty gnarly.
This is one of those Friday giveaways that's so gnarly, it's just going to be that, right? That's all we're doing for the week.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
That'll come at the end of the show. Do you want to announce the Paxies Pass winners now to get them out of the way?
Yes.
All right.
So what's the numbers? Are you covering
I know,
the numbers?
I'm covering them.
I don't know if it really matters.
I don't either.
But
let's play it safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are we getting crazy? It's Twitch. This is how everybody works. So we have these passes from Cher. She's in chat right now. Make sure you give her a thanks. It's Cher P _lol. She claims it's a good name. It is not. The winner of this is, drumroll Colin, Sigh of the Torrent. Sigh of the Torrent has won a 3-day pass here to PAX East. Viewership done. Thank you. Remember, everybody has to come to our panel Sunday, 1 p.m. Dragonfly Theater, the Game Over Greggy show. Why we left $100,000 for 100,000 subscribers. It's all about you guys, the best friends out there. What we're doing with our lives now post IGN and where we're going. So thank you, Cher, of course, for donating those passes. We'll see her at PAX East as well.
We do appreciate it very much.
We hope to see a lot of you out there as well.
We appreciate that very much. Greg, for the uninitiated, Colin and Greg Live is on every weekday at 11 a.m. Pacific time.
That it is.
Right here on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. We talk about all things nerd culture, usually games, sometimes movies, sometimes TV, comics, on occasion, science, planetary science, astronomy, astrophysics, biology, religion, political science, political theory, war theory. And that's it.
Journalistic theory.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's it?
That's literally all we talk about.
Now, you said something interesting there.
Mm-hmm.
Colin and Greg Live every day at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Usually go about 12, 15, 12:30, see what's happening, what's kicking around the world. Next week is GDC and PAX. But the first part's GDC Monday through Wednesday.
Yes.
We had talked a long time to you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do GDC. Would you like us to stream longer? Y'all said yes. And so that's why GDC, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we are streaming from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's 6 hours of us streaming video games and stuff. I've been, now that we have Kevin, our first official hire, who's editing videos for us, this morning I came in for 2 hours, Colin, and answered emails in my kind of funny email address.
Good for you, proud of you.
Let me run you through ladies and gentlemen, some of the people who are coming to the GDC live
this is exciting. This is
Steve Gaynor from Gone Home to Homa. Housemark coming by. They're gonna show some stuff.
Housemark, little Rezo gun.
Drinkbox coming by. David Brevitt coming by with more Marvel Heroes stuff.
Indie Creates is coming by.
Yeah, that's a one. Here's where I get.
What do you mean that's a one? Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I meant that was a good way. That wasn't enough. I'm booking. I'm not going to insult anybody on this show. As we go further in, though, Cliff Blazinski, Mike Biffle, Sid Meier, the folks from Firewatch, and then a whole bunch of cool people. Yeah, it's still booking out right now. I know a lot of developers reached out. Again, I can finally focus on the emails and book these games and do all these things. There's many things coming. Tell all your friends that all I have to do Monday through Wednesday is watch us. Then Thursday we need to figure out, because we'll be flying during regular Colin and Greg Live. We're talking about guest hosts. Let us know who you'd like to see.
That might be the very first show. Yeah, that'll be the first show neither of us are on, but we'll figure something out. This is a really awesome lineup of developers, especially smaller developers. I'm super, super excited about this. Housemark going to be bringing the fucking heat. You know it.
Yeah.
You know they're going to be bringing the heat. Indie Creates is going to come. They have a lot of balls in the air right now. I think most notably Mighty Number 9, of course. Which I'm super excited about. Our boys from Jinkbox, our boys from Toronto, they're going to be coming. We're going to see them again at PAX East, too, which is going to be very, very fun.
I like those guys.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
They're just fantastic, aren't they? Steve Gaynor, big fan. Big fan. Big fan of Steve Gaynor. And then it's really funny because on Wednesday, that's when we just go completely fucking crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That's when it gets a little bit off the walls with everything else. Now, as if that wasn't enough good time developer stuff happening, where you're like, oh, these Colin and Greg guys, they've got a decent show lineup here, right? Let me tell you, tomorrow's nothing to slouch at either, ladies and gentlemen. Colin and Greg Live are being joined by none other than Ryan Payton. Now, Ryan Payton, former Halo 4 director, Metal Gear Solid 4 producer, and now working on Republic, of course. That was one of those stealth mobile games that came out, and everybody's like, this changes the way mobile games play and do all these different things. That's happening, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow on Colin and Greg Live. Then he's going to stay and do the Kind of Funny Games cast that'll, of course, be up on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Thursday, available for everybody the next week during GDC.
It's going to be fantastic.
So, not only, that would be enough for this week. The GDC thing, that'd be enough for next week. Then it's PAX as well with a panel. We're going to die, ladies and gentlemen, by mid-March, but we're doing it for you. Thank you for the support.
And the PAX, do we have the PAX thing built into this still, so we can show everyone in case that we have some new listeners? We want you to come join us for our PAX panel. We're doing a PAX panel. And it is going to be a very exciting PAX panel, I think, because, well, first of all, we get to go on Sunday, which is nice, so everyone's kind of a little tired but relaxed, ready to sit and chill and enjoy. Maybe they've seen the games already.
The worst is when you get one of those early morning PAX panels, you know what I mean? Oh, we got at 1 p.m.
Jesus, how many things you put on Instagram?
This is not my Instagram. I was hoping I could just scroll right down. Of course, that'd be too easy for Greg Miller. You act like it's so easy. You don't know how tough it is. There we go.
All right, let's see.
We said the information, but there it is again, yeah.
So you should definitely come join us for this. We do appreciate it very much. Very clever name of the panel by Greg.
I know how to write a headline.
And my favorite thing is that a few people think that this name means that we made that much combined and therefore we're living in fucking extreme poverty. Which is that's my favorite. But it's a great title.
We'll explain how we made that much money when you get to the panel.
But we're very excited about this panel. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking specifically about our endeavor and why we left and why we're doing what we're doing. But I think it'll be more freeform and
it'll be a game over Greggy show. We're going to be all over the place. In the first 5 minutes, we answer that question, I imagine. Then we move on to where you get the best tacos.
Well, you get them probably in San Francisco or San Diego. I don't know why we're high-fiving. We're not from either.
Tomorrow we're getting burritos with Ryan Payton.
Where, at Underdogs?
I assume. Where else am I going to get burritos? I'm good right now. Thank you, though. Yeah. Look at Nick. He's got it. Nick Scarpino, everybody. He's got it down. Now, of course, Nick's leaving for about 20 minutes, so that means for sure we're going to get 4 packages delivered during that time.
Yeah. Greg, I think that's basically it. We should jump into the news because there's just a metric shit ton of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not even sure where I want to begin.
You sent me a lot of links. I'll have to dig around.
Oh my god, this is more links than I've ever seen.
Oh, Lord almighty.
So let's start.
I'm ready to
Let's start with Batman. If you go to Forbes, let's see, there it is. It's right there.
Got it.
This is big news today.
Oh, yes, okay.
This story is by Dave Thier over at Forbes. He writes, Batman Arkham Knight earns an M rating, which is unexpected to a lot of people.
Very unexpected.
This is bound to be interesting, he writes. Rocksteady's other entries in the Arkham series have all come to market with T ratings from the ESRB, but apparently Batman Arkham Knight, due out in June, just earned itself an M for mature from the ESRB. The reasons for it aren't clear at the moment, but it seems the rating came as a bit of a surprise to the development team. It's worth noting that despite the generally dark world of Gotham City, we still haven't seen an R-rated Batman movie. So this represents the most restrictive rating on a Batman product yet.
Yeah.
Quote, I'm not blind to the fact that the M rating does mean some fans will miss out. I don't want to be oblivious to that fact. It would have been wrong to water down the game and deliver a story we didn't believe in to keep the game mass market or enable it for more people. We feel that's the wrong way to go about it. We said we love the story and we don't want to jeopardize that. That's a quote from Sefton Hill, Rocksteady founder, and he spoke to IGN. He went on to say... we're not including gratuitous blood or swearing. We want to deliver a true end with no compromises, and it takes us to some dark places. So, first of all, I love this idea. Batman should be darker, needs to be darker.
Sure.
And we've talked about this for a long time. It's already dark, but it's all like... And I'm not saying Batman's going to start or should start killing people and stuff like that, but the show certainly needs... Or the product certainly can use a darker slant, a more, I think, headier slant almost.
Yeah.
In the sense that he is a conflicted character, and that should bring him to dark places.
So now here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
With this information, I want to talk about what was a leaked possible spoiler. So what we're going to do right now is traditional Colin and Greg Live spoiler protocol. You are being warned to turn off the sound when I tap my head. Then when I tap my head again, you can unmute it if you don't want to know this potential spoiler that we don't even know if it's a spoiler. It was just a rumor, so stick with us, all right? So, spoilers on. All right, so what this goes into is, remember when they released that image of the statue that said the memorial, and everybody's like, Batman dies in this game. I wonder if that plays into this. If Batman dying makes it a mature rated game. And if it's not Batman dying, is it just that Arkham Knight is straight up blowing dudes away and cracking necks and killing people, trying, because his whole thing. I bet he is. That's got to be his whole thing, right? Is that he's cleaning up Gotham the way Batman can. Now, here's what gets really interesting when you talk about this game. If it turns out that because I always talk about Superman's gonna show up and that'll be their tie into the Justice League game, or hopefully it'll be a Batman Beyond tie-in at the very end and all this stuff. If they're really doing away with Arkham and they're like, this is the end of our story with Arkham, no more games in this Arkham universe, whatever. Other Batman games can exist, obviously, just not in this world. How dope would it be, Colin, if Arkham Knight shows up and isn't just killing, because I would think he's killing thugs and Batman's like, oh no, I mean, he breaks Penguin's neck, stabs Two-Face, he's just killing Harley Quinn, he tears in half, you know what I mean? He's like...
So what Batman needs to be doing in order to make Gotham a normal place again.
You want a lawless city.
I didn't say that. Batman wants that's a garbage fucking argument. What I want is either a prison that could actually hold these people, which apparently they cannot build.
Yeah, they can't build those yet.
Or Batman takes, eventually, if you lived in... Listen, due process is an important thing, but it's a very important thing. It's an essential thing.
Yeah.
But in this fake world... If you've lived in Gotham for years and you're like, this is just out of control, and there's this vigilante that's just gonna take care of business for you, then just let him do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
It's like the Wild West in Gotham.
It's very much so like the Wild West out there. All right. Spoilers off. Hope y'all. They don't know when you hit what that means.
What does that mean?
What does that do? Is that okay?
All right. So that's interesting news. There was another piece of interesting news that it was this one was on Kotaku about Power Rangers. I don't even know what to say about this, other than the fact that Nick was really excited about this, and I suspect Tim would be too if he was here. He's on vacation right now. Oh, Jesus
dear.
Christ. That's intrusive ad.
That is an intense ad over there.
And Evan over at Kotaku wrote, Power Rangers get a Mighty Gritty reboot.
Yeah.
And this video here, starring Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica and James Vanderbeek from Varsity Blues.
Yes, nice reference.
People are really, 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 really excited about this.
Is it just?
It's 15 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think we're gonna see the whole thing.
It's a gritty Power Rangers, right? That's the deal.
Yep. Apparently, that's what it is. That's basically.
Now you want to know what's heartbreaking about this is that Tim Geddes pitched me this video. I don't know, a year and a half ago, that he wanted to do this one day. He wanted a gritty Power Rangers reboot trailer to be his thing, and here's a 15-minute version of it starring James Vanderbeek.
Yeah, with way more of a budget than we'll ever have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, we wouldn't.
It looks pretty good. I mean,
shot in a parking garage.
Considering it's a YouTube video, like an unauthorized Power Rangers gritty reboot. So what? Oh, a little love scene. Oh, a little love scene. So what do you think about all of this?
That's really cool. It's a really cool idea, right? Like, I mean, especially with Power Rangers coming back, they're coming back hard right now. They got they got their movies. You got the Tommy the Green Ranger floating around doing all his stuff. Power Rangers are a big deal now, so to see something like this.
Because I was thinking the exact opposite. Like
they're having a resurgence for sure.
But I can accept that, but I don't know that. Like, I would have rather them use this talent to do something cooler than Power Rangers.
Like, what would you want?
I don't know. Like, G.I. Joe could use this kind of love.
No, it's already had its movie.
But those movies suck.
I know, and that sucks that happened, but that's what happened. Why aren't they? I gotta watch this. Why aren't they in suits? What the hell? You only have suits for the first 5 minutes of this thing? Alright, whatever. You got slow-mo.
I wonder how much money it costs to make this. Oh, jeez.
Damn. Yeah, that's cool. All right, cool.
So anyway, it would be cool. Yeah, Nick made a good point today. I'm like, this is unauthorized, obviously. It would be cool, though, if someone with some clout or the ownership, what is it, Saban or Saban or whatever the company is that owns it or whatever, was like, yeah, just here's a bunch of money and you should do that.
I like what you're doing. Go for it.
So I wanted to throw a shout out there. Where do I want to go from here, Greg? I mean, because there's just so many. There's such strange news today.
So much strange.
On VG247, Brenna Hillier wrote a story about amiibos that I think might be interesting, especially if you're looking to get amiibos on the cheap. And this surprised me because I thought amiibos were just hard to find generally.
Some of them are
and
hard
that
to
you would
find.
think Nintendo would actually jack the prices up. But
Yeah.
Brenna over at VG247 writes that Peach, Donkey Kong, and Yoshi get price drops specifically. And
I probably made too many of those.
It says 3 Super Smash Bros. Amiibos have been discounted. The recommended retail price of Peach, Donkey Kong, and Yoshi have dropped from $13 to $10. The new pricing is currently listed for US only. Check local sources to see if it's going to carry over to your territory. Other Amiibos are still $13 each. And it says all 3 are among the lowest selling Amiibos to date. So that must be the reason why.
Nobody likes Donkey Kong.
I mean, Donkey Kong is let's be honest, Donkey Kong is a completely whack character. I mean, let's just come out and say
Call a spade a spade.
Donkey Kong has always been uninteresting, had good games, but not because of him.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country, it's a great game. But that could be anyone. You could literally put any sprite in that game and it's going to be a good game.
Sure.
Peach, I like Peach.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Peach.
Sure.
But
Yoshi, I mean, like, look at the cash she's up against, right? Well,
Yeah.
it's interesting that the Wii U trainers, or whatever, the Wii Fit trainers more high selling than she is. You'd think there'd be that, but like Samus, come on. Zelda, come on. Peach is the one who's just always getting kidnapped and jumping twice as high and gliding down. Nobody cares about
she's an interesting I mean, I can deal with Peach, and Yoshi is, I don't want to say instrumental, but he's certainly something. But Donkey Kong,
no,
whatever. The people have spoken, Nintendo.
Yeah, he's done.
What I'm surprised about is that the Wii Fit trainer is selling better than
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Even the Villager too. I guess it's just like for these guys, for your Villagers, for your Wii Fit trainer, it's like in whatever. Which one is Marth? Is this Xeno,
I don't know who the hell that is.
Xeno
no, that's
over here.
That's
I don't know
one of the guys from Fire Emblem.
But this is like you get your when's your chance to get some Villager merch? When's your chance to get some Wii Fit merch? Right.
I love that pit.
There's been a million Princess Peaches. She's just sitting down too.
Looks like it.
Come on,
she's chilling.
Do something. Everybody else is active except for Pikachu.
What I'd like to think
Pikachu looks like he's in a lineup. Like you can see the lines behind him. Like Which one of these amiibos
looking like a fucking nut
assaulted
job.
you? Yeah.
Him and Day-to-Day next to each other. Who committed the crime?
Yeah. Did you see that Day-to-Day that the kid sent us that was covered in blood?
Yeah, it was awesome. And I still get, it's funny because I still every so often get a message from someone on Twitter being like, you're saying Day-to-Day wrong. And I'm like, no, sir.
I'm saying it Japanese.
I'm saying it the way the Japanese say it. Day-to-day.
Sumimasen.
Day-to-day. Day-to-day. But I like, this is a great lineup. I mean, I'm just looking at this picture still. Like, I like that curve. See, this is the thing is that when you got me the Mega Man, and I appreciate that very much.
You're welcome. It's fine.
I put him amongst my other Mega Men.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is just, I wish that these were maybe twice as big. Because they're just awesome action figures. And I would give it, if they were easier to find, I would give Nintendo $300. Just be like, just give them all to me.
And then I buy all the amiibos.
Yeah, and then I'll probably throw away a few of them, including Donkey Kong, who I'll put in the trash compactor and just throw that out.
We'll melt them on camera.
Yeah. But it would be cool to have, like, I already have a Link figure, I guess, but it would be cool to have, like, Samus and Kirby.
Do you have the loading?
I don't have the loading figure. I'm not familiar with that character.
Mario loading?
Okay. So that's interesting news.
Okay.
I'm done with it now.
Got it done.
There was some bizarre news that I did not expect today. This one comes, I'm looking for it here because I have like a million fucking tabs open.
Yeah.
Here it is. This one comes from Variety. And it says, Lionsgate invests in video game publisher Telltale Games as company expands beyond films, TV. This story's by Mark Razor over at Variety. And he writes, as it looks to expand beyond its core business of making movies and television shows, Lionsgate has invested in Telltale Games, the developer of games based on AMC's The Walking Dead and HBO's Game of Thrones. Lionsgate declined to disclose the size of the investment other than to say that it was significant. The move by Lionsgate is certainly a significant one. Yes, they just said that. And gives the company behind the Hunger Games and Twilight franchises a major stake in a well-respected and successful game maker after having only just formed a games group in April 2014 under the leadership of Peter Levin, a digital entrepreneur who has sold Chris Hardwick's Nerdist Industries to Legendary Entertainment. Since then, he's moved on to Lionsgate primarily in the mobile game space and scored with titles based on Hunger Games and John Wick. But with Telltale, Lionsgate's backing will enable the company to develop new games and work with Lionsgate to co-develop titles that can be turned into movies and TV shows. So it's going to go both ways, and I think that's what's super interesting about that.
They call it Super Show.
As part of the deal, Lionsgate CEO John Feldheimer will join Telltale's board of directors. So this is an interesting move in the sense that we often look, Greg, for video games to get some sort of acceptance from the other accepted entertainment art mediums, like film, right? Film is an established medium that people look at as art. And Telltale really has that cinematic quality, even though the games I don't think are very good from a gameplay perspective. They're excellent from a narrative perspective, and so people forgive the shortcomings of their engine and the gameplay. And what I'm really excited about with this is that now this kind of tethers two of these companies in two different worlds together, and that the deal can go both ways, and that something like Hunger Games, I think, would be an awesome Telltale series, and exploring that world. And so that's exciting news, and I don't think there's anything not to be excited about with that.
EW this is where I heard about it today, had this exclusive interview with Kevin Bruner, one of the founders of Telltale, president, a million other titles, CEO, I assume. Up here he says, they're talking about it being a super show. EW, so what exactly is a super show, and how is it different from a similar in focus to what Telltale currently produces? Kevin Bruner. A super show episode combines one part of interactive, playable content with one part of scripted television-style content. So it sounds like Quantum Break. That there's this like thing you're watching, then you play it. He says in this interview, you can play them in any order, you can jump around and do this thing, that one day they'll be taken and put onto like the on-demands, your Netflixes and whatnot, so you can watch the shows, but then you can play that. It's an interesting idea that we've just scratched the surface of this super show. But I'm interested to see what.
Yeah, we'll see like what that all turns into.
Yeah.
This is an interesting marriage, an interesting wedding between two companies.
Definitely unexpected.
And the other story that's related comes from IGN, also in terms of what's going on in Telltale. This one's by Seth Macy over there, and he says, John Riccitiello joins Telltale Games board.
You have to understand that
the numbers. Knock down the numbers. I played all of them.
There you go. It doesn't take much.
No.
Former EA CEO John Riccitiello has joined Telltale's board of directors, writes Seth Macy at IGN. This follows the news earlier that Lionsgate CEO John Feldheimer is also joining the board, and Lionsgate will be investing in Telltale Games. Telltale CEO and co-founder Kevin Bruner said that he's excited to welcome Feldheimer and Riccitiello to the board. Quote, I'm thrilled to have these industry giants join us as we continue to define exceptional interactive scripted entertainment, end quote.
Interesting.
So just another addition, someone very experienced and knowledgeable and very talented, John Riccitiello, joining Telltale. They're becoming a force.
Yeah, they're making moves over there. And it makes sense. It's fascinating to watch them pre-Walking Dead and post-Walking Dead, right? Once everybody shifted their focus on them being this company that can make a narrative like nobody else, right? And do this, revitalize the adventure game and do all these different things. Now you look at it and here we are. Like, you know what I mean? What that means and doing something different and being amazing at one thing. Like, you're always talking about the fact that, like, you'd like to see them take time off or do this or do that, like.
Well, hopefully this gives them the resources that they need to make an engine.
Yeah, make an engine that doesn't crash and
horrible.
Be garbagey.
Yeah, they need time. They need to stop focusing on just the narrative and make a game that functions. Because
I mean, is that the thing you think they're actually going to do with this?
I hope so, because imagine the heights that they can reach if they had game like where you couldn't poke holes in them. I mean, people legitimately don't like their games because they're not good to play. And that's just think about. It was The Walking Dead that made Telltale legitimate in the sense that they had the IP that they needed to flesh out an interesting story that riveted people. If you think about the way people felt about Back to the Future, for instance, like that wasn't, even with the IP, which is a great IP, no one gave a shit about that game because it wasn't fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you remove the IP, then the games still aren't fun. And that's a big thing. So if they can focus on creating an engine, then I think it's harder for them for people to poke holes in what they're doing.
Now here's my counterpoint to that. All right, my counterpoint to that is the fact that I'm sorry, is it Legendary or Lionsgate? I've already forgotten. Lionsgate, thank you. Because you're talking about Legendary with Nerdist, right? That's what confused me. Lionsgate has made this investment in them to do these super shows that combine what Telltale's good at with scripted content, which is what Lionsgate's good at, right? I don't know. I hope that, like we're saying, right, it means that they're taking the money, investing it in making a new engine, getting more developers, doing all these things. But what if it's not? What if it is the fact that Lionsgate sees them as, you're already a hit with gamers, and I think there's an audience out there for, in similar how Game of Thrones probably brought in new people who didn't realize that, this is just how The Walking Dead plays. This is just how Wolf Among Us plays, right? You can now take it to other Lionsgate properties, apply it, make this super show. Other properties out there, complete a Downton Abbey game, right? Let's just say that, theoretically. You bring in an audience that doesn't traditionally play video games, combine it with this scripted content, and then all of a sudden they're playing what we like, and do they know that the gameplay isn't as good and smooth as it should be or could be? That's my question. I don't know if they're making this investment in terms of a real investment, like, we want to see you as a company grow, change, evolve, or if they're making the investment saying, what we want is what you're already doing. We want what you're already great at, what you're already enrapturing audience with. Because like you're saying, even though there's plenty of people out there like who play it and like, oh, this gameplay is weird. This isn't what I was expecting, There's plenty of other people like me that just play it and I'm like, well, I'm enjoying the story. This is what I want out of it. You know?
Yeah, but why? Well, why, dude? I mean, like, this is the thing. Is like some of these games are. I understand that, but some of these games are catastrophically broken. You know what I mean? Like, Game of Thrones is fucking wrecked for a lot of people.
Is it? I haven't heard about that one. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I haven't heard about it.
Like, I think on the iOS version, it's like totally broken.
Oh, really?
Or was totally broken. Okay. There was a whole story on Kotaku. We went over it a couple weeks ago about.
I remember it popped up. I don't know if I was on the show that day. I think it might have been on the day.
Yeah, it was just a thing where it was like Kotaku, I think it was Kotaku.
It was, and I remember seeing
compiled like all of the problems that these games have had, and how why isn't anyone saying anything? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And people are saying something, but like it's not hurting them in the pocketbook, so they don't fix it. Exactly. I really do think they need to slow their roll, and make a new engine. And I do think that this is going to give them the means to do that. I hope so. I hope that there are people smart enough at Lionsgate to be like, you guys need to fix your engine,
Yeah.
Or make a new one. Forget Xbox 360, PS3, all that stuff. Make a new next-gen engine, or current-gen engine, and we will persist with this engine for years to come.
Sure.
Take a year and hire some engineers that can make this engine for you. And I'm sure they have engineers that can. You just have to give them time, So, like, the game is, like, some of these games are really fucked up.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right about Game of Thrones. I just hadn't heard about that. There's a whole bunch in here. Jason Schreier had run into iPad problems. There was Xbox One problems.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing is that I played The Walking Dead Season 1 all the way through on PS3. And I played Back to the Future all the way through. And I messed with, like, Sam Max and some other stuff. And I never had a technical issue that, like, ate my save or anything like that. Uh-huh. But at IGN, we had those problems. People had those issues.
Sure.
Nonetheless, in their personal saves or whatever. Nonetheless, like all the things you read about all the time, with people just getting their saves eaten, saves getting deleted, things not carrying over, the engine stuttering. Play the game on Vita. Play Walking Dead on Vita. You know what I mean? Like, it's a mess.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Slow down and just chill out and make your engine, but there's no money in making an engine. So
it's true.
That said, I mean, they're definitely setting narrative forward. What the? Oh my! This is awesome. How does that even happen?
I think this is one of the fan-made ones because there was that whole pole dancing thing that they put out there and stuff. I think a fan screwed around with this. I don't think that's a real bug, but I just the comments of every article are so great.
Jesus
Christ!
Dear. All right, let's move on, Greg. There's a lot of Nintendo news, more Nintendo news I want to jump into.
Okay.
One of them comes from GameSpot. And our buddy Eddie writes over at the GameSpot that Nintendo wants to redefine entertainment. He says Nintendo remains committed to games, but is also experimenting with new entertainment categories, according to Satoru Iwata. And here's what he writes. Nintendo wants to redefine entertainment. Though the esteemed Mario company remains committed to innovating in the video game space, the Japanese giant is also looking to grow its business in new ways. Nintendo president Satoru Iwata outlined his vision for the next 10 years.
Time out. That is a real bug. That's not a fan thing.
So,
that's all. Time in.
Time in, Zach?
Yeah. How do you want me to interrupt you kindly? You yell at me for interrupting. You never tell me how to interrupt you.
The more ideal thing on all of our shows
is
if we didn't interrupt each other.
Well, don't you want to give the real information out? That's all I'm saying.
We got to be better about that, I think, generally. Because a lot of people say...
But on this show, how does the chat interact?
That's true. That's a good point. I
understand the Game Over Greggy show's a different thing where we cut each other off.
I don't cut anyone off. I just sit there and wait until the time is right. And then I strike.
Okay. Like a cobra.
Not the stomach, the ribs. So, I'm going to jump back into the story now, if that's all right.
I already timed in. You're wasting your time.
The Nintendo president Satoru Iwata outlined his vision for the next 10 years of Nintendo as part of a Q&A session with investors, the English translation of which was published Tuesday. One of Nintendo's first non-gaming entertainment efforts is the mysterious Quality of Life campaign, which the company first spoke about last year. Investment in this new area doesn't mean Nintendo is backing away from games anytime soon, however. Quote, "Let me assure you that Nintendo is not trying to distance itself from video games. We have never ever lost our passion for video games and will continue to make them." That's what a quote by Iwata. But then he explained that he doesn't want Nintendo to be considered a company that only makes video games. Here's how he summed things up with one very long sentence. Quote, "On the other hand, if people inside the company think that Nintendo is a company which cannot make anything other than video games, and believes that video game controllers remain a certain way because of that is the way they've been for 30 years, video games should be created in a certain way, or video games must start with a tutorial, end in a particular way, and have a lot of hard at work elements in between. A high mental wall would stand in front of us when we tried to create a brand new video game genre, with which many people would be amazed, or when we tried to create an unprecedented user interface that pleasantly surprises people." That is a fucking awful sentence. But what he means by that is just an awful, just a terrible sentence.
Yeah,
it's probably a bad
sentence.
translation.
It's a bad sentence.
What he's saying is that if people thought that video games would remain stagnant, and the controller remains stagnant, and the way you make a game remains stagnant, and all those kinds of things, then Nintendo would have never innovated to begin with.
Yeah.
That's basically what he's saying. Anyway, it's interesting that Nintendo is not like candidly telling you something that you don't know, because we know about the quality of life kind of thing, and they're interested in kind of getting into other things with that. They're being more open about it and actually actively talking about the fact that like they're not going to be a gaming company.
Yeah.
You know, like they'll make video games, like Sony makes video games.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is what Nintendo can do outside of that, and they must be careful, I think, with this, because
can't overextend your reach.
I know, because this is what we were always talking about, where Nintendo has 17, 18, 19 billion dollars in cash, right?
Yeah.
And people are always like, oh, they can make a bunch of mistakes with that and have money for years. And I'm like,
Not
well,
as
that's
many
not
as you
that's not really how business
Not as
works.
many as you think.
That money can disappear very quickly if they jump into other areas. Then that money diminishes very quickly. And if those other areas aren't successful, then that money disappears. So I'm interested to see where they go and what they decide to do, because I think that with their IP, they have a lot of like, why don't they make their own television studio? You know, why don't they make their own movie studio?
Yeah.
Instead of like shipping their shit out, they should become equipped to utilize their IP, and I think that's the smart way for them to expand. But we'll see what they come up with.
Do you think they'll listen to you?
No.
Finally?
No.
No, not this time.
Definitely not.
Okay.
But I'm interested in you know, I'm just interested in that. Like, it's a smart. It's, you know, we make fun of Nintendo a lot for some of the stupid mistakes they make, right?
I don't know if we make fun of them as much as we just point them out.
Yeah, point them out.
This is stupid. But we do that for everybody. Just they've been in with this YouTube stuff.
No, exactly.
We launched this YouTube business, and then they started talking about YouTube.
But generally about the failures of the Wii U and you know, just kind of a tone deafness. And this seems to be not tone deaf.
Yeah, that's very true.
They just have to do it properly. So best of luck to them, because a strong Nintendo is good for the game industry. And they don't have a strong...
A strong Nintendo is good for all games. That was you at like the pulpit, like a presidential address.
let's see here.
You're making an address about games.
Right, of course. One more piece of Nintendo news, Greg.
Okay.
This comes from Damian McFerrin at Nintendo Life. And it says, Nintendo held back Western launch of new 3DS due to limited stock. This might be similar to a story that we already heard about so I don't know if people are familiar with the dock workers. It's not a strike, but it's a slowdown on the West Coast. Right. That is stopping a lot of items from entering the United States and hurting the economy for no reason. Damian's story on Nintendo Life reads, we've recently seen the Western release of the new Nintendo 3DS hardware, but the system's release in North America and Europe had been held back following its launch in Japan last year, a difficult choice, which according to Nintendo Satoru Iwata was due to limited stock. Speaking to investors, Iwata said, quote, regarding new Nintendo 3DS, the quantity that was produced before the end of last year or the amount that was delivered to consumers was limited. Overseas in Europe or the US, for example, it takes longer than in Japan for the products to be produced in China and then to actually arrive and be lined up in stores. Hence, we had to make a difficult decision on whether it was acceptable or not to cause a worldwide shortage of new Nintendo 3DS. As a result, based on the different diffusion levels of the preceding models, we made the decision to launch it in 2015 in Europe and the US. So this basically gives us some insight into why people were anxious about this new 3DS hardware, and it didn't come out. And this explains a little bit more why they were either gonna send it all over the world and have nothing available, or do kind of what Sony did with PlayStation 4, where they're like, we're actually gonna hit markets that are most important for us first. And for the 3DS, the market that's most important for them is Japan. And then the story goes on to read, sales of the new Nintendo 3DS in the West have been brisk, but Iwata admitted when questioned the more consoles could have been retailed had Nintendo decided to push it to North America and Europe in time for Christmas. Quote, in hindsight, the actual results and the reactions to the launch of new Nintendo 3DS tell me that you are absolutely correct in assuming that the results would have been different if it were launched in 2015. Or 2014, I'm sorry, 2014. So just some insight from Iwata. Again, Nintendo being a very open company about the decisions they make, much more than Sony and Microsoft. You get a little insight into why the 3DS didn't come out, the new one, until this year. Because they didn't want to cause a shortage.
True.
Which is surprising because they are the masters of artificial shortages.
Right.
But maybe they saw something in their numbers and their forecast where they're like, this would not work for the new Nintendo 3DS. So, I think that's it for Nintendo news. Okay. Now we can move on to other stuff.
Put the amiibos to bed. We're going to war.
Let's see. Where is this? There's this story about Daylight. Where is it? Here it is. Or Dying Light. I'm sorry, Dying Light. Damn it. Eddie, again over at GameSpot. $386,000 Dying Light Special Edition announced.
What?
Comes with a custom-made zombie-proof shelter, parkour lessons, flight to Poland, adult diapers, and lots more. He writes, here's something you don't see every day. Dying Light developer Techland on Thursday announced an ultra-rare special edition version of the game, the My Apocalypse Collector's Edition, that costs £250,000, which comes to around $386,000. It packs in tons of extras, you'd hope so for that price, including a real-world zombie shelter, a round-trip package to visit Techland in Poland, night vision goggles, parkour lessons, and a lot more. Techland will only offer one My Apocalypse Collector's Edition, and it's available exclusively through UK retailer Game. The disc-based version of Dying Light launched in the United States last month, but doesn't arrive in the UK until later this week. Wow, they haven't played... Oh, the disc-based version. Okay. I was like, wow, it didn't come out in Europe yet.
I got the list.
So here's everything that comes with it. It says the Dying Light My Apocalypse Collector's Edition contains custom-built Dying Light Zombie Home by Tiger Log Cabins. Zombie avoidance parkour lessons with Ampisound, the team behind the internet smash Dying Light parkour POV video. Be the zombie match with devs where you win so you can brag to your friends about how elite you are. Trip to Techland in Wrocław, I don't know how to say that, Poland, I'm sorry, to meet the dev team and party with Steve the zombie consultant. You're face skinned onto your Night Hunter character model. Dying Light branded night vision goggles and adult diapers for the night portions of the game. 4 signed Steelbox editions of Dying Light, 2 top-of-the-line Razer Tiamat headphones, human-sized volatile figurine to use as a deterrent on human raiders.
Jeez Louise, man.
Someone will buy it. We'll have news in a few days probably about who bought it and what they're going to do with all this stuff. But very interesting, very strange. Some money to be made there, though, for sure.
This link ain't working, Eddie. I want to see the Steve the zombie consultant, not today.
It's too late. Greg?
Yeah.
Bad news for people that are looking forward to playing Grand Theft Auto 5 on PC. Rob Crossley.
Is there ever going to be good news for these people?
No, I don't think so.
Because I don't see like how this has been a problem for a while.
Rob Crossley over at GameSpot writes, GTA 5...
Rob, stop stepping on Eddie's shoes.
GTA 5 PC release date delayed again. Rockstar pushes launch date back for a third time. Online heist coming March 10th. New heist picture to emerge. He writes, the Grand Theft Auto 5 PC release date has been delayed for a third time, pushing the launch date back to April 14. Mm-hmm. The game was initially scheduled to ship in fall 2014, and then in late January, and then on March 24th. This third delay pushes the release back by 3 more weeks. Quote, Our apologies to PC gamers worldwide who have been counting down the days until the launch of the game, but a bit more time is needed to ensure that the game is as polished as possible, Rockstar said. As a gesture of goodwill, players who have pre-ordered the game will receive an additional $200,000 in in-game bonus cash to use in GTA Online. This brings total pre-order bonuses to $1.5 million. $500,000 for the Grand Theft Auto 5, $500,000 for Grand Theft Auto Online, and $300,000 bonus for pre-ordering before March 9th. Rockstar also revealed that Heists, the new gameplay mode for GTA Online, is scheduled to launch on March 10th. The Heist mode tasks a team of up to 4 players to pull off a spate of raids and robberies across Los Santos and Blaine County. These heists are thought to be complex, multi-part missions with each player taking on a different role. New vehicles, weapons, clothing, and sundry items will arrive with the Heist update. So that's basically it, Greg. I'm sorry to our PC Gamer fans out there. We'll have something to give away to you a little later that will make you happy, but this is bad news, man. People are getting impatient.
Yeah, well, they've been impatient for a while, right? They can't catch a break. Every time there's this anytime you hear GTA PC in a headline, you're like, oh, this is going to be bad news. Something bad's about to happen, and then inevitably it is. Something bad happens, and there's nothing you can do about it, you know what I mean? Then the thing is, like you're always talking about vote with your wallet, it's still going to sell like crazy when it comes out that day.
Yeah.
PC
I think
version of GTA is still going to go crazy.
And to their credit, Rockstar could push something out that's broken,
Sure.
and people are going to like it. So at least they're saying we know this looks bad, but we're trying to make the game better. You can appreciate that. More developers should take a hint, from Rockstar, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Because Rockstar games in the past have not been of the highest technical fidelity.
Sure.
Let's see. Game Informer, Ben Hansen over at Game Informer wrote something about Tomb Raider, and his story is called The Business Decisions Behind Rise of the Tomb Raider, of course, which is an Xbox One and Xbox 360 Rise. Tomb Raider is a timed exclusive, it seems.
Yeah, well,
and
let's not even get into that.
So they have a video here, and I thought that I brought up, I can't find it now. Hold on a second. Game Informer, Tomb Raider. Let's see if we can find the story. All right, so let's go. I'm going to go back over to GameSpot because I don't want to have people have to watch the video itself.
Okay.
I do want to give them credit that it is in a video here, in
Sure.
case you want to watch it. Eddie writes that they talk about the Tomb Raider Xbox exclusivity, and he writes, when Microsoft announced Rise of the Tomb Raider as an Xbox exclusive last summer, some fans scratched their heads and wondered why. After all, the 2013 Tomb Raider reboot was released across Xbox and PlayStation consoles, as well as PC. Now developer Crystal Dynamics boss Daryl Gallagher has expanded on the nature of the deal, what it means for the game, and more. Speaking with Game Informer, Gallagher says the relationship didn't happen overnight. In fact, it's been, quote, a long partnership, end quote, that actually began in a way back in 2008 when Crystal Dynamics brought Tomb Raider Underworld to the Xbox 360 with some exclusive DLC. This was followed up with Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light in 2013, which was released first on Xbox 360 through Microsoft's Summer of Arcade promotion. As a result of these previous working relationships, the Rise of the Tomb Raider Xbox exclusivity deal represents, quote, a natural evolution of where we started, according to Gallagher.
Sure.
Microsoft will publish Rise of the Tomb Raider and handle marketing and distribution. Overall, Microsoft working on the project helps Crystal Dynamics, quote, achieve what we want with the Rise of the Tomb Raider to deliver the best game that we can, according to Gallagher. The interviewer went on to ask if Gallagher thought that Crystal Dynamics' partnership with Microsoft was so deep that Rise of the Tomb Raider could not exist without it. Gallagher said he doesn't think that's the case. He says, quote, I wouldn't say that. If you look at Tomb Raider, it's been around for 20 years, so I think that Tomb Raider would still be around without Microsoft, end quote. Gallagher explained that partnering up with Microsoft helps boost the profile of the Tomb Raider franchise to new heights. Quote, what we look at is how we can best bring the version of Tomb Raider to the market. How do we actually make it as prominent as it can be? And there's no doubt that having a first party in Xbox alongside saying, quote, we want to help you make this great. We want to help push you. We want to help push this and get behind it and love it in the same way as you guys do. There's only benefits that can come from that. And that's his quote there. It says, the deal also means Crystal Dynamics can tap into Microsoft's hardware-specific expertise to help with the development of Rise of the Tomb Raider. From the start, Microsoft employees have shown initiative to help Crystal Dynamics with the project, asking, how can we help and what do you need? And this is the big news, I think, here, Greg.
Lay it on
He says,
me.
also in the interview, Gallagher reiterated that Rise of the Tomb Raider could come to PlayStation consoles sometime in the future. This is not too surprising because, as we know, all that Microsoft's exclusivity deal for the game has a duration, and it's not forever. And he said, quote, we're working on Xbox One and Xbox 360 here at Crystal, and that's what we're focused on right now. Yeah. And anything beyond will come back to that at a later date. And Gallagher confirmed that 2013's Tomb Raider reboot is at 7.5 million copies sold.
Whoa.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not super surprising. I think the one thing that I would have wanted to know more about if the interviewer thought to ask it, maybe he did, and I just, we didn't watch the entire video, is does this make sense, as we've said before, because it's going to come out around the time Uncharted is coming out, and PlayStation 4's audience, given the choice, is going to choose Uncharted if they have $60. If they have $120, I'd buy both.
Yeah.
But Uncharted is going to sell like gangbusters on PlayStation 4 and push hardware. And is this a way for them to avoid that? And is this a way for Microsoft to have a similar action-adventure game, which, as we discussed a week or two ago on the show, Phil Spencer admitted they do not have a game of that caliber.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
I think so, don't you? That seems like the obvious choice. Something to get out that you can satisfy your audience and keep them from thinking about to go buy a PlayStation 4. Because that's always the thing, right? Uncharted 4 comes out. I'm sure it's going to get rave reviews, and it's going to put a lot of people who have Xbox Ones and don't have a PS4 on the fence of, is now the time? But if you can be like, well, here's Tomb Raider, it's getting equal reviews, you know what I mean? It's getting also amazing reviews. Why not play that right now? It's your exclusive. It's your thing. Adopt that. It'll be interesting to see at E3 how big of a deal they make about Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, and I know that some people are upset about that. People play Tomb Raider on PS3 and on PS4, and I know that they're upset about this. And people are upset about Insomniac with Sunset Overdrive and stuff. There's just business realities to doing this that make sense for Microsoft.
Yeah.
And that's the way business works. Now, if people are this upset about it, just remember that if Tomb Raider comes to PS3 or PS4, it will come to not PS3. Or maybe it will because it's coming to Xbox 360. But let's say it comes to PS3 and PS4 a year later. You have to have the wherewithal not to reward them with money if you think that it's that egregious what they did.
Yeah.
But it's not egregious. It's a business decision, and you would just have to wait to play it if you don't own an Xbox One.
When next time you get mad about waiting for this game, just remember how long people have been waiting for GTA 5 on PC. It's just a mirage in the desert. Every time they get close to it, it goes a little bit further away.
And I'm really interested. Someone asked here, I missed it, the name already went away, but it was like, how much more will Uncharted sell than Tomb Raider? I think the numbers for both are going to be very big.
The last profit 11.
How
many more copies of Uncharted will sell compared to it?
I think Uncharted will outsell Tomb Raider, but I think that
total
on PS4.
Yeah, I'm saying 361 PS4.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume that PS4 Uncharted is going to outsell Tomb Raider.
Okay,
but I don't think that's really a stretch, to be perfectly honest. But both numbers are going to be very impressive. Again, it's all relative. It's the same thing with Xbox One sales, which are lower than PS4's, but still very impressive.
What did Uncharted 3 sell?
I don't know. Let's look.
Didn't mean to stump you. What's up, everybody? This is Colin and Rig Live. Every day at 11 a.m. we walk you through the main news of the day.
The only thing I remember about Uncharted 3 sales were the fact that Uncharted 3 outsold Zelda Skyward Sword, and everyone was like, "What?" Like that. I remember being like, "That's incredible." So let's see if I can find it here. Sales.
JRV.
According to MPD Group, Drake Deception was the 5th best-selling game. Worldwide, the game broke all records for the Uncharted franchise in the sales department, firmly ahead of the last game of the franchise. Sony confirmed it shipped 3.8 million copies globally on launch day. And the Uncharted franchise has sold 19 million units.
Okay.
So, 6, 7, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you think that this will outsell the Tomb Raider based on the fact that there's more PS4s now?
True, but remember that if those numbers are true, let's just lowball and say 6 million Uncharted 3, which I think is probably a low number.
Yeah.
Because that would assume that all of them sold equally, and you think Uncharted 3 probably sold better than the other two.
Sure.
They revealed Tomb Raider sold 7.5 across 5 platforms. So Uncharted 3 did that on 1. So extrapolating, it seems like that makes sense.
Well, I'm just saying, you were saying that across all the platforms for Tomb Raider as well. So isn't it the same situation, though?
What do you mean?
There's so many, there'll be more platforms for Tomb Raider versus Uncharted's 1.
Sure, but I still think Uncharted 4 will outsell Tomb Raider on Xbox One and Xbox 360.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Colin's lock of the week.
We'll see what happens. I hope both games do great. Because people really love that Tomb Raider.
I like Tomb Raider. I really love the new Tomb Raider.
Very talented. And what I like about that is that they're complementary to each other, especially you can just see that the games begat each other, as we talked about before.
Sure.
Tomb Raider
inspired the original
Uncharted, which then inspired this new Tomb Raider. Yeah. So they can keep learning from each other and advancing that action-adventure genre, that pulpy kind of archaeology adventure, Indiana Jones style thing. I think that'd be great. Over at VG247, Greg, Sharif Saeed wrote Shadow of Mordor, 74.6 million hours played, 5.65 billion. What is that? Urks? Killed? I've never said that word before.
Why do they call them orcs? Is that the plural?
Wait, is that orcs?
I don't know.
Urks. This is what happens with books.
This
is what happens with books when they become things, or when fake characters become real things. You don't know how to say them. Yeah. I don't even remember ever seeing this word in my life anyway. And I've read the trilogy back when I was a young man.
You don't think that's how? Did they spell orcs normally?
I don't know. Is that orcs? Is that what that is?
I don't know. I know that there's orcs in the goddamn game.
Urax.
Urks are stronger orcs. Urax are stronger orcs.
Yeah, Elder 10 says it's Urks, but he's just writing the word that we see here. I need a pronunciation.
It's a type of orc. Get Alexa.
Uruks.
Uruk.
All right, we're getting 17,000 different pronunciations.
You're not even agreeing with each other in the comments.
All right,
I'm over almighty. Anyways, these things are dead.
Anyway, they released a graphic, like an infographic, which I always like the infographic. Very smart way to promote your game when it's out and get people excited about it.
Yeah. This is what you've done collectively.
And so this comes from Monolith, and it says, Sharif Saeed at VG247 writes, Shadow Mortar developer Monolith has revealed some impressive stats tracking all sorts of activities players engage in during their time in Middle-earth. The developer released a huge infographic covering the number of Uruks killed, both by players and by other Uruks, and more. The stats revealed that players have logged in over 74.6 million hours since launch. Along the way, they killed 5.65 billion Uruks and dominated 200 million. I don't know what the hell. I don't even want to know if I want to know what that means. So there's some statistics here. There's one here. There's a pie chart. It says weapon stats. The sword was the weapon of choice for 62.4% of the players. It accounted for 34% of the total kills. People like their bow, their dagger, wraith powers, 3%. So some interesting nerdy stats here that I still have to play this game. I've heard great things about it.
This is like Alexa's game. I'm surprised she left the house without making you play it.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, she's crazy about it. I think that at GameSpot that was their game of the year, which it was unexpected, which is unexpected to me. Uruks. You should name your child that name.
Uruks.
Let's stay with GameSpot. Eddie, our boy Eddie, has one more story for us today, Greg.
Oh, Eddie.
He says The Witcher 3 ESRB rating outlines strong sexual content, blood, and gore.
Yes.
Unsurprisingly, the Entertainment Software Rating Board has given CD Projekt Red's upcoming RPG an M for mature rating. He writes, the Entertainment Software Rating Board this week published its rating for Polish developer CD Projekt Red's open-world role-playing game, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. As you might have expected, the game received an M for mature rating, just like the first two games in the series did. The ESRB's rating mentions that the game features blood and gore, intense violence, nudity, strong language, strong sexual content, and use of alcohol, among other things.
Yeah, my kind of game.
You can see the game's full ratings summary below. The game will come out May 19th. We played it. You can find our thoughts on the game at youtube.com/kindafunnygames. The game looks beautiful. It's a lot of fun to play. I am really excited about this game, Greg.
Yeah, me too.
I think this is going to be an awesome game. And when I was reading this, Greg, it says the ESRB rating mentions that the game features blood and gore, intense violence, nudity, strong language, strong sexual content, and use of alcohol, among other things. It sounds like your life.
Yeah, it's true.
And you don't have an M rating.
No, I should, though.
Yeah, you should.
I'm an AO.
AO.
AO!
I'm telling you, there's reason to be excited about this game. And you know, I played it for, I don't know, 70, 80 minutes, something like that. I was just drawn in, man. It's just a world to just explore. Like, I just love those fucking kind of games, dude.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we're so excited about Fallout 4. Is just one of the great moments in gaming to me, in my opinion, was Fallout 3. Not the first 2 hours or an hour and a half when you're in the vault, but when you walk out of the vault.
Sure.
And you're like, holy shit, I can do whatever I want. And for console gamers like us, this might not be so unexpected to PC gamers and people that played Oblivion and stuff like that, but Fallout 3 really was one of the first examples on console for console-centric gamers where they're like, I can just do whatever I want.
Yeah, there's no hand-holding.
Yeah,
like go to that thing or not go to that thing, go in a completely different direction.
So when they put a game like that in front of you, and there are open-world games, but a game that is that well realized, and people are going to see how well realized that world is. Oh my god, dude. Yeah. I think The Witcher 3 is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Just a few more pieces of news, Greg.
Okay.
Game Informer's Mike Futter, who does good work over there, wrote Perfect World details contents of Neverwinter on Xbox One. And he writes, if you missed the Neverwinter beta on Xbox One, don't fret. There will be more opportunities to play the game as it's launching later this year. Today we know exactly what content will be available when it does arrive. The Xbox One version, which is due out early this year, will come with the Tyranny of Dragons expansion, Greg, which I know you're very excited about.
Oh, the Tyranny of Dragons gets me every time.
On the PC, this increased the number of playable characters or classes to 7. Guardian Fighter, Great Weapon Fighter, Control Wizard, Trickster Rogue, Devoted Cleric, Hunter Ranger, and Scourge Warlock.
Yep.
All of the content and balancing present in the PC version up to and including the Tyranny of Dragon is included. The latest PC class edition, Oathbound Paladin, will be added to the Xbox One version after launch. So I know some people are excited to play this game. Looks like a really interesting game for Xbox One, a way for them to get on onto the more immersive bandwagon that's going to keep with a game that's going to keep people involved for a very long time, like Final Fantasy XIV, for instance. Or
DC Universe Online. I didn't want to say it.
Surprised you didn't say it.
I'm trying to remember that new leaf. You see, yesterday I re-upped my subscription. My year is.
I didn't see that.
Had to jump in there.
That wasn't. No one told me about that.
$120.
$120?
Yeah.
For how long?
A year. I give it to him every year.
Woo.
I'm giving it to him every year.
That's good. I mean, that's great.
Love those guys. And gals.
So our old friend Keza McDonald, who we saw at
it's me, Keza McDonald, lady governor.
Doing great work over there at Kotaku UK, and she writes something about the new Guitar Hero game.
Oh, Lord almighty.
And she says there is a new Guitar Hero game
Oh,
coming.
God, it's happening.
Kotaku has learned from 2 separate sources that Activision has a new Guitar Hero game in development, reportedly for this year.
Oh, God.
The new title, which one source says will be announced at E3 this year, takes a, quote, more realistic, end quote, approach than previous Guitar Hero games, all of which have had cartoonish visual style. Crowds and performers will look more in line with real life. We were told that there are new guitar peripherals in development for the title.
Yeah.
And both PlayStation 4 and Xbox One were mentioned. It is reportedly due for an E3 announcement and a full release before the end of the year. The last Guitar Hero game, Warriors of Rock, was released in September 2010, by which time the global recession had already totally deflated the music game boom of the mid to late 2000s. Activision officially killed the series in late 2011, having bought it, along with the original publisher, Red Octane, in 2007, though Kotaku reports that an ambitious and troubled 7th game was in development by New York studio Vicarious Visions. So I think Vicarious Visions closed, right? Maybe not. Both Neversoft and Red Octane, the 2 studios that had worked on Guitar Hero after it was acquired by Activision, have since been closed. Although neither source told us exactly which developer is looking after the new Guitar Hero, it was indicated that it's one of Activision's West Coast studios, which would rule out Vicarious Visions, and which rules out the fact that I thought they were close. They are still alive. So we had some news about Rock Band, right? And now this is about Guitar Hero. They're coming back, Greg. You knew they were going to come back, and here they are. It's been 5 years. By the time this comes out, it'll have been 5 years.
Yeah, I knew they'd be back. But I really didn't hope they would come back at the exact same time to knock each other out and make everybody hate them immediately. That's the problem, right? That's the thing. If I still think it's too early to pull the plug and bring back the music game. However, it seems like, according to earlier this week or late last week, Rock Band 4 is coming no matter what. So, okay, Rock Band 4 is coming. Let's see what happens. Give it a chance. Then, now news of another Guitar Hero today. So then the question becomes, do you think they knew? Did they know early on that each side's working on the game again? And if they did or didn't, do you think that, let's say they didn't know, do you think Rock Band 4 news, rumors, whatever, leaks last week, this week, which one was it? Do you remember? It wasn't yesterday.
It was last week.
They releases last week that they are like, well, now we've got to leak it. We've got to leak the fact that we're doing one too to get us back in the hunt here, get us back in the conversation.
Maybe. I mean, it would be stupid if one knew what the other hand was doing and they both decided to do it anyway. Because they are going to cannibalize each other.
Yeah, 100%.
So, just like last time, you're going to have to pick your side. You know what I mean? And my side is Rock Band.
Yeah, mine too, but come on.
So I can play some of them drums. We're going to have that. I'm telling you, Greg,
Wait, are you saying we're getting this? Is this happening?
February 24th.
Yeah.
These games will be out by November.
Yeah.
In 7 months' time, we're going to have that shit back in our house.
Yeah.
And we're going to like it. And you know what?
We're just going to get one, though, right?
Yeah, I don't want to get both.
Okay. No, I mean, we're only going to get one set of instruments.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay. We're not crazy.
Those games were really fun.
They were.
Really, really fun. And I think that it might be time.
But here's the thing. When's the last time you played a Rock Band at your house?
I never played a Rock Band at my house.
See, I have.
I just played it.
I have, and I've never played a Rock Band with my landlord living upstairs. That's my concern. Because, I like to sing. It's going to be hard to rein that in.
Yeah. We'll figure out. We have time.
Okay. Maybe we start with some SingStar parties. We see how that goes.
Okay, yeah. Start
Escalate.
small.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Okay.
Bloomberg Business Greg wrote a story about our friend, Shuhei Yoshida.
Aww.
And it's titled, The Man Who Put Sony Back on Top of Video Games. And it's an interesting article, and I'm going to read some parts of it, but people should go check this out, this article. It says, I don't want to read the whole. I'm trying to figure out here. Too narrow. Yeah, all right, let's start from the beginning. Bloomberg writes, quote, how many people came for video games? Asked a keynote presenter at Sony Corp's PlayStation Bash in Las Vegas last December. The crowd roars. And how many came to give Shu Yoshida a hug? The roar gets even louder.
Adam Boyce is the man who said that.
The man in question is an unlikely celebrity, short and bespectacled. The 50-year-old Shuhei Yoshida is president of Sony's worldwide game studios. What he's done to draw such affection is champion some of the biggest hits in the business and prove people will pay $70 for the top-notch titles, even in a world with thousands of free smartphone games. In the process, he's helped Chief Executive Officer Kazuo Hirai, I don't like seeing his full name, it's Kaz Hirai, steer Sony toward a surprising turnaround. The company's games business has not only survived, it's had the best console launch ever with the PlayStation 4. The division is one reason Sony's headed for their highest profit since 1998 when it made mini-disc players and Men in Black. So people should go find the story on Bloomberg because they go into a bunch of different stuff here. There's even a thing called Tokyo Jungle. So they talk even about Tokyo Jungle.
I'm pretty sure, too, that this interchange here is Jim Riley talking to Shuhei Yoshida.
Sorry, I fell asleep. Oh, wait, yeah.
Isn't this Jim Riley asked him what he thought of the Xbox One, and then he said, I'm sorry, I'll see you.
Yeah.
Shuhei's the best.
Shuhei's awesome, and really, I think a major reason why Sony has resonated with the hardcore base on Twitter and all these kinds of things. So people should go.
You gave the company a face. You gave it a human side. You gave it humanity back.
The story at Bloomberg is by Pavel Alpiev and Grace Huang. So you guys should go look up that story and give it a read. Give them a click. Just a few more things, Greg. Over at The Verge, Marvel is teasing the new Avengers Age of Ultron poster. And I thought you would want to take a look at this.
I would. You're right.
The story by Ross Miller reads, Marvel has released a new poster for Avengers Age of Ultron, and while it isn't as intense as the first one, the poster underscores the studio's ongoing tease of the film's brand new superhero, Vision. So there's the picture. What do you think of this? Let's take a look at it here. Nope.
I don't understand why Photoshop's so hard.
What do you mean?
Like, look at how bad Robert Downey Jr.'s head looks compared. Like this, they're clearly not in the same place. And this is like this is a major motion picture film being put out. Can't fit there. Sam Jackson though. Scarlet Witch. Yeah. It looks fine. I'm ready. Like, you know what I mean. This is a movie that I don't need the teasers for. Just put it out already. You know
you're excited about it?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I like the Avengers franchise. I like everything that's happened with the Avengers. I'm excited for more of it. May 1st is coming up fast.
It is coming up fast.
Pretty soon GDC will just be memory. PAX as well. But no, I'm ready. Put it out. Show more trailers. Stop putting out bad Photoshops. That's what I say.
All right. Just a few more pieces of news, Greg.
Okay.
Samit Sarkar at Polygon writes Street Fighter V online beta coming to PC and PS4. He writes, Capcom will run an online beta for Street Fighter V on both PlayStation 4 and Windows PC, the company announced today. Billed as, quote, the largest and most ambitious online beta program in franchise history, end quote. It will allow the developers to receive feedback from fans on character balance and other elements of Street Fighter V. Pre-order customers in North America will automatically receive beta access. Capcom didn't announce any release window for the beta or plans for entry into the beta for people who don't pre-order Street Fighter V, but said to, quote, stay tuned for updates. So just some news out there for people excited about this game, and there are a lot of people very excited for this game, exclusive to PS4 and PC.
Exclusive.
I know some people are upset about the exclusivity, but...
it's a business decision, much like Rise of the Tomb Raider.
And Street Fighter found its base in console, first on Super Nintendo, and then on PlayStation. So I think that makes sense to me. I remember when people used to play it. Oh god, it used to bother me so much. Well, Street Fighter 2 on Genesis was the worst.
Did you ever buttons?
Yeah, and you had to press the start button to switch between
kicking.
Oh my god, it was the worst. All right, some final tech news here.
Okay.
This one comes from Daily Mail by Jonathan O'Callahan. And it says, will holidays soon be uploaded to our minds? Dr. Michio Kaku reveals how he could use our brains in the next 50 years. And he writes, and this guy's awesome, by the way, if you've ever watched like Nova or other science programs, this guy's like all over the goddamn place. It says, the holiday of the future will still provide memories of strolls along sunny beaches, the sensation of sand between your toes, and the peaceful rush of the ocean. But there will be one crucial difference. You won't ever have actually been away. In fact, you might have never left your house. Instead, people will download memories to their brains to make them feel as if they have been on a sun-kissed holiday. That's just one of the many realities we could face as we learn to manipulate the human mind, U.S. physicist Dr. Michio Kaku told Mail Online in an exclusive interview. Dr. Kaku is best known for his expertise in theoretical physics. His previous books have dealt with topics such as parallel universes and the cosmos.
Of course.
Which is why I love him so much. But his latest book, The Future of the Mind, takes a look at how rapid advancements could bring about huge changes in how we understand and use our brains in the next 50 to 100 years. His theories on the future of the mind are wide-ranging, from the possibilities of telepathy to controlling programmable matter with our thoughts alone. At times, his opinions sound purely like science fiction, but he's convinced that these are developments we'll see not just in the distant future, but by the end of the century. Of particular interest is the ability to implant memories. He says, this is a quote, first of all, someone goes on vacation before you and your pleasant memories such as walking on the seashore, picking up rocks are put on a disc. Then they're uploaded into your own mind. Relax, and there you are on the beach. Feel the wind at your face, hear the sound of the waves, all the sensations. You'll have a memory of a very nice walk on the beach in some exotic location. That's what this person left before you felt. These things are within the realms of possibility. It's only a matter of time.
So it's like Total Recall. And then also, it's going to be awesome at the end of the century when this is actually a real thing. And people look back and laugh at how he said it would be on a disc and all this stuff. Because that's how it always is, right? Like, when you think about, like, oh, you have your whole music collection with you in this weird brick, you know what I mean? Like, it's never what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
we can't imagine
the law of unintended consequences with this are insane. And they talk about this, I think, here. So he goes on to say, all this will be made possible by significant advancements in our understanding of the brain. As Dr. Kaku points out, we have learned more about the brain in the last 15 years than we have in the rest of human history.
Damn.
And crucially, our knowledge of the map of neural connections in the brain, known as the connectome, is rapidly improving. This is thanks to machines such as MRI scanners that can see which parts of the brain light up as a person performs different activities. Quote, in the short term, we're going to be able to connect our minds to computers, so that we'll be able to control exoskeletons. So we're getting some Metal Gear.
Great.
We'll be able to perform primitive forms of telepathy. We'll eventually record memories, and then Alzheimer's patients will be able to push a button and memories will flood in. Beyond that, the internet will be replaced by the brain net, where you can convey emotions and memories rather than just text.
Great, that's what I want.
Quote, end quote. Further into the future, probably in the 22nd century, we could control surrogate robots on alien worlds with our minds, so we can explore space without physically having to go anywhere.
That's a cool idea.
Quote, maybe aliens have already done this, and we're walking into the middle of an interstellar system where people commute regularly to planets and stars, and we're too stupid to know it. End quote. On telepathy, Dr. Kaku says, we have done this. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. On telepathy, Dr. Kaku says we can already take someone who's totally paralyzed, hook them up to a computer, and allow them to send messages on the internet. In the future, you could, quote, walk into a room, mentally turn on the lights, internet, answer emails, call up a movie. Indeed, the computer mouse will gradually be phased out. This will be made possible thanks to programmable matter, the dreams of creating tiny little dust particles with the power of PC, known as catomes, that can change their electric charge and be rearranged all by our minds. At the moment, we are nowhere near getting down to a grain of sand, but Dr. Kaku insists that this can be addressed in the future. So there's just people got to go look. This story's huge, and people have to go look at like all of the different things he talks about, the futurist kind of shit.
Cake Conqueror. This is bad. Seriously, do not want. That's terrifying. That's how everything happens that is terrifying and hurts you. I don't want nanomachines in me. I don't want memories getting uploaded. I don't want to be able to. It's Total Recall. What was real? What's fake? I don't know.
Well, it reminds me of the Matrix in the set. And someone says here, Texas Man 208 says, "Don't worry, guys. This guy is essentially a sci-fi writer." And this is true, except for the fact he is a scientist. He's a physicist.
Yeah.
But a lot of this stuff that we thought was unbelievable ends up becoming reality.
Right.
Like this, for instance, the fact that there's a computer in your hand. This didn't exist 10 years ago.
No interface.
This didn't exist 10 years ago.
No. The UI doesn't involve a mouse and a keyboard.
This is really, when you think about it, this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, this has more processing power by far than anything we sent to the moon, the Apollo mission.
Yeah.
And it's in the palm of your hand. And 10 years ago, we couldn't imagine that we'd have something like this. You know, so just think about that, think about where you're going to be in 10 years and 20 years. There's something called. I think it's, what is it called? It's like the Baker theory or something. There's some theory that says, and someone will remind me in the chat, that the processing power and storage of a computer will increase 2 times over every 18 months. And since the 60s, this has actually been true. So
this is why we're getting so close to ones that can think and do stuff and take us down.
I mean, dude. Like, the things that computers are going to be able to do in 20 years are going to be fucking scary. And this is like what reminds me of Moore's Law. That's what it is, Moore's Law. And thank you for that, guys. And when you're dealing with, in the 60s and 70s, when you're dealing with supercomputers that just don't process anything, doubling in 18 months doesn't mean anything. But when you get to the point where we are now, and then you double it in 18 months, and then you double that in 18 months, and then you double that in 18 months, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know? And if that remains true, we're going to have pretty big things to worry about.
You laugh as you talk about our new computer overlords.
Final piece of news comes from ABC in Australia, and it says, Japanese robot bear nurses soon to care for rapidly aging population.
Excellent.
Look at this fucking thing, Greg.
Excellent. They are making a teddy to help us all. Persona 4 is coming to life now as well.
The story reads, robotic nurses with cute bear faces developed by Japanese engineers could soon be the future carers of the nation's growing elderly population. Japanese Research Institute Riken developed the Robear to support healthcare workers with enough power to lift frail patients from bed and support unstable patients on their feet. The Robear is based on an earlier model called Reba, which was first introduced in 2011. The upgraded Robear is about 90 kilograms lighter than its predecessor, capable of more subtle movements, and sports an even cuter look. Quote, the polar cub-like look is aimed at radiating an atmosphere of strength, geniality, and cleanliness at the same time, end quote. Researcher leader Toshiharu Mukai said. Quote, we voted for this design among options presented by our designer. We hope to commercialize this robot in the not-too-distant future, end quote.
A lot of calls for Monokumo.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking about the same thing. I'm pretty sure this is how Danganronpa begins. Anyway, I wanted to end with that piece of news. I thought that was funny.
It's very nice. In fact, I'm very excited for it.
Oh! Now, Greg, should we give away what our prize
Yes.
for the day? Let me see if I can grab it.
We've already given away the PAX East passes. Congratulations again for that. They're going out to Massachusetts, so you can come to the PAX East thing. Come to our panel Sunday. 11 a.m. But here's the thing. No, that's not 1 p.m. Sorry, Sunday 1 p.m. Here's the thing: is that every episode of Colin and Greg Live adds a new prize to a prize pack that we give away on Friday. However, we have a big prize this week, similar to when we gave away that Venom mask. That we're just putting one prize out there that you have the chance to win on Friday. Subscribers are automatically entered. If you're in the Twitch chat on Friday, you're automatically entered. Colin, what are we giving away?
Our PC fans that like their PC games often say we don't do enough for them. They say we often don't do enough for them.
Yeah.
So this is for them. This is Homeworld Special Edition.
Now this is the Homeworld Remastered Special Edition.
From Gearbox.
From Gearbox. It was sent out to select press outlets throughout the world. We got ours. Here's Alexa unboxing hers when she got it. It comes with the game. Comes with a statue and stuff. It's got a whole bunch of stuff in there that's really, really cool.
Yeah, we're very excited to give this away. Gearbox was kind enough to send this to us, and we appreciate it. We just did not have time to do anything with it.
Yeah.
So
this is what we're doing. So we're doing we're pretty much a live unboxing. Is how we're gonna do it.
Okay.
So you open it up.
Wait, you're gonna unbox it now?
I'm not unbox it, like take it all apart, but show the camera what we're getting. You get your Homeworld keychain in there. Oh, I'm still in the Alexa shot. Yeah. You unbox it with a magnetized thing. Get the keychain there. Enjoy. Then you get in here. It's an artwork book. Taken care of very.
You get a nice little piece of tissue paper.
Yeah.
Get a nice little piece of tissue paper.
It's a Homeworld Remastered Collection. There it is. Your code is on the back of this. This is for the game, of course. So you get to go out there, enjoy it. You put it. Look at that. Good job. You should box these up. Again, not available in the stores, I don't think. Right? These were sent out as pressed mailers.
Someone asked if it's signed by Goldfarb. Unfortunately, it's not.
Yeah, we'll mail it off before he gets here.
We do thank him for considering us and thinking of us.
The very bottom, though.
I don't want to take this out.
I'll hold it up.
Okay.
At the very bottom, it looks like you get one of the ships there, one of the Homeworld ships. So it's this amazing collection, little thing. We're very proud, very happy. Thank you so much, Gearbox, for sending it to us. We want to make sure it gets a great home. Happy to unbox it here, of course, on Colin and Greg Live. And then Friday, we'll give it away to someone in the comments or a sub. They're automatically entered. So super fun, super easy.
Yep.
Come back on Friday, see if you win.
This can and will be someone's, and we're happy to do it for you.
It will be someone's.
For our, I thought about our PC contingent, Greg.
You do that often.
Because I want them to be happy.
Yeah.
And this will make one of them very happy.
They're sick of hearing us talk about these amiibos.
Greg?
Yeah.
That's it. Let's go into the comments.
Let's go into the comments. Remember, everybody, you jump in the comments right now, ask your questions, we talk to you, we hang out for a while, then we go into sub-only chat where you can still watch, but only subs can ask questions. Then we go home and we come back tomorrow at 11. Got more content to make today. Kind of funny games cast. No.
Is that today?
Game Over Greggy show today. Too many shows we do.
We're doing the Game Over Greggy show today?
Yeah.
With who?
Us. We have to do it for this week.
I know, but where's Tim's on here?
Yeah, we don't need him.
We're going to have 3 of us?
Yeah.
Oh, we've never done that.
I know. It's intimate. We have, but you see, now that because of patreon.com/kindafunny, we have that fourth topic. So we're all set.
Fair enough.
We have a proxy topic, basically.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, so Aberralis writes, and so a few people wrote, actually a lot of people have written about it. Northeastern lost the Beanpot final yesterday in overtime.
A heartbreaker.
Oh my God, it was really upsetting. They were down 3-1, they came back, tied it 3-3, and then they lost like right at the beginning of overtime.
That sucks.
It's like, Jesus Christ. They haven't won the Beanpot since 1988.
And you thought this was their year, or did they just have a good shot?
They had a good shot. I mean, they started the season just terribly, and they've actually been awesome, one of the best teams in the country since their terrible start.
Gotcha.
And I was reading their roster today. I didn't realize how many players were drafted already that are still playing for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 people on the team that are claimed by the NHL already, and they're not even out of college.
Not too shabby.
Let's see. Let's see. JRB82 says, Colin, curious what you, and I'm kind of curious about you too, with this too, Greg. He says, were you a big fan of Ken Burns' Civil War? Ken Burns is one of my favorite documentarians.
Yeah.
Civil War is about 19 or 20 hours long.
Right.
Really love it.
Yeah.
Are you a Ken Burns fan, or is that a little too long for you?
I enjoy Ken Burns. I enjoy popping in, but never have I finished a Ken Burns documentary series. You know what I mean? Like, I pop in and out. I think there's like that and Prohibition are still on my Netflix queue. So that when I'm in the mood, when I'm doing something, I want to toss them on, I can watch them, I want to play something, whatever. I can have some background music. Love what he does, but yeah, just a little too big for me.
The Last Prophet 11 says, Colin, what's your favorite main reason for being a Republican? They are the worst.
I'll link him in the comments to your
link in the comments, but also knowing that it bothers you is the reason that I'm a Republican.
No, that's not true. You're not out just to hurt him.
Specifically him. Oh yeah, Renegade Jules, Zeo Drifter coming to PS4 and Vita this spring. I forgot about that. Let's see if I can bring this up. I'll email it to you, Greg.
Okay.
Let's see. Our friend Jules at Renegade Kid made a game called Zeo Drifter. He also made a bunch of other games, Mutant Muds, etc., and so on. He tweeted me something very important yesterday.
Very important.
Or actually this morning. I answered it this morning. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Okay.
That one of his games, Zeo Drifter. Let's see.
Is that soon or out now? Or
no.
Early access?
No. You're getting
coming
ahead of yourself.
soon.
You're getting ahead of yourself.
It's announced.
Check your inbox right this second. There it is. Zeo Drifter Special Edition coming to PS4 and Vita. And he let us know
we
that
did
today.
this for you, no taxation.
So we appreciate that, Jules, and we hope you are doing well and look forward to seeing you soon. Very excited about that. Played it a little bit. One of our very first Let's Plays, or not Let's Play, one of our first Twitch streams when we counted Kind of Funny.
Yeah.
Have not had time to go back to it. Probably will never have time to go back to anything I've ever played before at this point. And FlipDoc reminds us that Axiom Verge release date March 31st.
We talked about
in
it
the US, and we talked about that yesterday. We were very excited about that as well.
That's gonna
Yeah, I'm excited about this. Right at home on Vita, I believe.
Oh yeah,
right at home. So congratulations to those guys, and we hope that the game is as fun as it looks, and I think it will be.
Rad.
Let's do a few more questions, Greg, because we are running a little bit low on time today. Stigma2121 asks what I feel like is an essential question. He says, Greg, were you always this insanely loud, or was it just slow evolution?
I think it was slow evolution. College is really when I took off the dampener, probably. I think in high school I was a quiet kid. You know what I mean? Like high school, I remember when I got to high school, like, I think midway through freshman year, I got braces and this giant retainer thing on the top of my mouth, which then, like, I couldn't talk, and I stopped talking. And then when they took that out, then I went, college, I always say, I wanted to go to college and be a different person with the blue hair and the Hawaiian shirts and all that jazz. And so, like, there, and then I joined the Antlers, where the whole thing's to be loud and be there at basketball games. So that's when I really embraced, I think, the fact that I was really a loud and obnoxious person. And that I could be really mean, and people praised me for that.
I'm not sure that I understand the question here, but I'm going to say it anyway. Thunderstang asks, question, with Twitch limiting interaction for sub-only mode, are there other alternatives that does not punish non-subs and can give you the flexibility to put on a great show for all viewers? I'm not quite sure I understand the question, but I wanted to read it anyway because it seems
Read
like
it one more time to me.
He says, with Twitch limiting interaction for sub-only mode,
which we do,
are there other alternatives that does not punish non-subs and can give you the flexibility to put on a great show for all viewers? I don't think that our sub chat at the end punishes non-subs. I think it just gives extra time to our subs.
I would say, yeah, something that is better for everybody would be the first hour and 15 minutes of the show. You know what I mean? Like, you get this overwhelming majority that's you can talk to, comment. We try to pull you in. We try to pull stuff out over here. I don't think it's the end of the world that at the end we reward the subs this way. Because this is meager, right? They give us all the support. You guys give us so much that we give you 15 minutes, right? And automatically enter, give you some emoticons that I need to update. I still need to do the Mikas one. And then, there's all these different little things. Like, subs are the unsung heroes of this channel.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Unsung best friends.
Absolutely. And we are going to...
I'm going to be punished.
We're going to show you much appreciation. Elliot Carter says, what made you come up with the name Kind of Funny? I don't think we've gone too deep into to where we came up with this name, other than to say that, and I don't know if we will get too deep into it, other than to say that Tim came up with the name, and that we settled on it ultimately after a vote, and that we were going in different directions. I've said before that I was obsessed with finding a science term that I thought was funny, or just like interesting, not even funny, but just interesting, and the name I come up with is ArcMinute, ARCMINUTE, which no one liked but me. And then we went into a different direction and came up with that name, and we were sitting around and we voted, and that's how we came up with Kind of Funny. And the name has grown on us tremendously.
Oh yeah.
So we, props to Tim.
As always, good job, Tim.
Yeah, Tim, you're the unsung hero. You're the unsung hero, Tim. Fine You in Hell says, Colin, Star Wars Battlefront is definitely coming out this year. What makes you say that? I haven't seen any evidence. Did something happen today?
I don't think so. I think he's just arguing the point before when you said it hasn't.
No, I don't think it's coming out this year. Sparkler17 says, but Colin, what will you change the name of the Game Over Greggy show to? We were not going to change the name of the Game Over Greggy show. We like the name of the Game Over Greggy show.
Yeah.
And that is our show, and that will be, this is, I kind of consider this kind of Kind of Funny Games flagship, but Kind of Funny OG flagship is Game Over Greggy show.
Real quick, it looks like he might be citing this thing. What we talked about yesterday when over on the PlayStation blog, they did their thing. They're coming in 2015, and they put.
Oh, didn't that list come out a long time ago?
Probably.
Yeah, maybe. I don't believe it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I would love for that to come out
Similar
this year.
to how Uncharted's coming out this year, but I don't think it's coming out this year. Right now, they say it's coming out this year. We'll see if it actually.
It would make a lot of sense
for it
to come out this year to kind of coincide with the Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
But I still feel like there is a game in development for the movie, and that is going to be from some studio.
Sure.
That's probably not going to be very good. But they have to have something to come out. It would be smart if they didn't do that.
Luke's cab ride. Get Luke to wherever he's going before he gets taken off the ship or whatever. I don't know what the hell's happening.
Metal Maniac says that new Browns logo is ridiculous. Have you seen it? I haven't seen the new Browns logo. Let's look this up real quick. I know this is not nerd related, but I love football very much. Let's see.
Misspelled Cleveland, so that's a great start.
Browns tweak helmet color and logo. Let's see here.
ESPN's got a scoop and a video, of course.
God, these fucking
units. Oh, here you go. What the hell?
That's it?
It's brighter? Helmets matches the passion of our fans and city.
The hell does that mean?
The fans are really bright about their team.
You know, what I love about the Browns is, first of all, their fan base is awesome. They're just crazy people, which is awesome. They're just so passionate.
Yeah.
And I love the kind of the blue-collar workman look of the team. They don't even have a fucking logo. Their logo is a helmet.
Yeah.
And then they have the dog logo and stuff too, but...
They said they tweaked that. I'm waiting to see if they pop it up here. In this silent video we're watching. Because it says right here, the famed Dog Pound
faces also new design.
Smirking dog swagger.
I love how I wish that it was just making the helmet brighter. And like, we made a...
Oh, there it is.
Oh. Nah.
You're not a fan of that one?
Nah. I like that I like even like when they are on TV and it's like, you know, the logos of the teams and it's just...
the color. It's just the color is always my favorite.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, cool.
All right, let's go into sub-only mode
chat
and talk to our subscribers for a few minutes, Greg. We appreciate it. Obviously, if you're not a subscriber, you can always hang out here with us. Also, we want to give props up to some of our other tippers here today as well.
Sure.
So let's scroll through here and say Rake Plays gave us a tip. We appreciate that very much. Thank you for tuning in.
Trill Shull, no message, but gave us a tip. Thank you. And Rallyzy.
He says, he or she says, yep, do you guys watch the LCS? And are you guys surprised by how huge it has gotten? Like Worlds in Korea, for example. I don't watch any of that stuff. No, I mean...
Not our cup of tea. We respect it, appreciate it, just not something we want to do.
I do want to have a discussion at some point with you. Maybe we'll do it on the Gamescast.
Sure.
About the term esports.
Let's do it tomorrow with Ryan Payton.
And what? Yeah, let's do that. And whether or not it's apt, or whether it should be called something else. Because I know some people some people are very concerned about that term. Some people think it fits, some people think it doesn't. I'm not really sure how I feel about it.
I'm adding it to my docket right now. Esports, ? Gamescast.
I love this question. Xander says, Colin, have you ever donated to an animal charity?
Have you?
That's an amazing question. That's maybe the most random question. I love that. No, I haven't. I donate to some charities, but not animal charities.
You refuse to donate to a charity run by animals.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't understand how
they
don't have any
what
idea
what are you gonna do
what
with this money, dog? You don't know what you're up to.
One of my favorite things to do during Christmas season is I really love the Salvation Army. I love the work they do, and they're controversial these days. Like everyone's controversial, but whenever I see them, I always just drop money into their tin. You can do that like 10, 15, 20 times.
Are you the guy putting the gold coins in?
Oh yeah, definitely. Gold bullion.
Bullion cubes.
MPG Squared just subscribed. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Robertson14 says, Colin and Greg, what did you think of the Oscars? We talked about the Oscars yesterday, but I did not watch them.
Yeah, neither of us watched them. That's not our scene, brother. I thought it was cool when John Travolta creeped everybody out and was totally weird the entire night.
Talby128 says, the Portillo Fund.
Helping Portillos be Portillo.
FR33 Agent says, can I make a Kind of Funny Games logo for you guys? I feel like it can be more iconic. You're welcome to make whatever you want for us, but I personally like our logo, so I don't know if we're going to change anything, but...
the simplicity of it.
I do like the simplicity, especially like the smiley face.
Me too.
Dean Astley says, what's happening with the PS4 Anniversary Edition? Well, we unboxed it. Did we put that up yet?
No, we have not put it up yet.
We did an unboxing video for it, so...
it'll be up soon.
It'll be up soon, and then it's going to go...
float around the house?
Yeah, float around our house. We want to use it as kind of like our rogue PS4 because we're always disconnecting. We have I think that we have literally 5 PS4s in this house now. And we're just always disconnecting them.
Yeah, so if we just have one that
it can't be good for
the living room one should just be a shared PS4 or whatever, right? No, that makes sense.
Nintendo asks, is video chat a possibility on the stream in the future? Let's put these cameras to work. It's possible. I think it's a little complicated.
Exactly. At that point, we need more help. Right? There needs to be a producer vetting who's going to come on the video chat and clicking through. You've seen how I have to sit here and click the links to the stories we're going to. That can be distracting enough, let alone have me try to set up video calls and make sure everything works. Slower roll on that one, ladies and gentlemen.
Big Tony Style says, maybe we need a creepy John Travolta icon. I actually don't disagree with that.
As an emoticon?
Yeah.
Put it on the list.
Let's see. Francis G33 says, as royalty of Team Fat, what advice do you have for a fussy eater trying to get into new foods? Well, Greg's obviously been disgraced.
Definition of my chest now, huh? I worked out really hard today. Team fucking Fat right here.
I don't think fussiness precludes you from being part of Team Fat. I'm very fussy. You know?
But you just find the foods you want and you just destroy them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that.
Are you very fussy though? You don't like mustard, yeah.
Oh, I hate mustard. Yeah,
but I don't like the smell of my yogurt, sure.
Yeah,
but I don't like onions.
It's fucking gross.
I don't like peppers.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at that point, aren't we splitting hairs here? Like, I mean,
I don't eat any seafood.
Yeah, okay. That gets you in the fussy category, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you're very fussy.
I'm fussy, but not very.
Fussy, okay.
Let's see. I had a question before we got into that stupid fucking
mustard sucks, says I.
Oh my god, mustard does suck. Xanther Sarah says, when is the book club meeting happening? So the video game book club for Kind of Funny is for Symphony of the Night, one of the great games of all time. And we thought it made sense to follow the trajectory of Super Metroid to Castlevania, and that's why we selected that game. I assume it's going to be a little later than I wanted it to be. I think probably
it's going to have to be post GDC, so the second month, or second week of the month.
We'll do that. I mean, the week we get back is going to be we'll do the Mega Man live stream, and we'll do the book club meeting. So fear not, it just gives you more time to play
through.
Stepladders44 says, Colin, how highly do you rate Sleeping Dogs? I just bought it on sale. I think I gave Sleeping Dogs like an 8.5 or something on IGN.
I think that's exactly right.
I thought it was really a fantastic game. It was a really,
Sleeping Dogs is awesome.
Yeah,
underrated. Not enough played it. That's why I was excited to see it get a definitive edition, and then it was on sale. Yeah, I was happy to see it finally get some of the love it deserved.
I would like to see a sequel for that game.
Yeah,
but I don't think we're going to.
Interesting.
Zyger1337 says, Team Fat is a lifestyle choice. To eat whatever you want, whenever you want. It has nothing to do with how much you weigh, what you eat, or how much you eat it. Everyone can be a part of hashtag Team Fat. Greg, let's do 3 more questions and skedaddle.
Okay.
I guess this is a relevant question to us because we were talking about soccer yesterday. Steve Hardly Working says, any chance you might watch some MLS during 2015, Colin? No chance.
Nope.
I won't count that as a question, though. Paul 4W says, don't like the book club slide. I'm looking forward to the next game already. It's just the nature of the beast, man. This is a shorter month, and moreover, there's just GDC and PAX East back-to-back like that. Next week is burned down and destroyed for us. Like there's just nothing we can do.
There's nothing. Yeah, we have to.
We did all our Let's Plays. Yeah, like we did most of them already because we just don't have time to do anything. And then we'll be at PAX, so it's just the nature of the beast. But it gives more people time to play the game, and I still have to beat it again too because I want to definitely be up on it like I used to be. But I think actually it might already be up. I think the Let's Play today on Kind of Funny Games, youtube.com/kindoffunnygames is Castlevania Symphony.
Tuesday, something like that. Yeah, I think you're right.
So go check that out. Squeezy says Adrian Peterson to the Cowboys. Did that happen?
I can check for you.
Thanks. Leet Ben says, Colin, what happened to your Tales of Hearts R review? I don't work there anymore, so that's probably what happened. Michael Bach says, are you guys thinking E3 already? We certainly are. We certainly are.
There's a lot of stuff happening there, too.
Very exciting news for that. Hopefully sooner rather than later. With Thanks says, what's the next book club game? Let's worry about that after we get the next one done. Yeah. And the final question comes from Francis G333, who says, "Can Super Mario World ever appear on the book club?"
God, I hope so.
That would be a good game. Maybe that'll be the next one.
Yeah, I do like. I like Super Mario Club.
We'll figure it out.
World. Jesus, a lot. Adrian Peterson, he's in the news. They're talking about the Vikings. I don't think there's any. I think he's just maybe asking, what would you think about him going to the Cowboys?
Oh, okay. That'll be interesting. I'll be interested to see what happens to them. And someone, El Pistilario, I think he's kidding. He says, "Wait, you quit IGN?"
Yeah, he's kidding.
Free Agent says, are you guys going to New York Comic Con? I'm sure we'll be there.
Hopefully, yeah.
But right now we're focused on GDC and PAX East, and then maybe get a moment to breathe.
I doubt it. If we've been shown anything throughout this entire adventure, I doubt it.
I'm excited for my 2-week vacation in April, just because I feel like we need to just chill out.
Yeah.
Like just unwind and think.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Anyway, Greg, that's it for Colin and Greg Live today. We appreciate you guys all and gals all joining us today. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at KindaFunnyVids. I'm at No Taxation. Greg's at Game Over Greggy. You can find all of our content right here on twitch.tv/KindaFunnyGames in the archived 60 days from air date. So all Colin and Greg Live episodes within the last 60 days, as well as our live streams. For all the other content, you can go to youtube.com/KindaFunny and youtube.com/KindaFunnyGames. Thank you for your support on Patreon. You don't have to support us there, but we do appreciate it if you do. And thank you for subscribing on Twitch. You don't have to subscribe to us on Twitch.
Yeah.
We appreciate it if you do. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time for more Colin and Greg Live. Until then, au revoir.
Moon Knights.
We are the Moonanites, and our culture is advanced beyond all that you can possibly comprehend with 100% of your brain.
Oh, is that so? And what's so advanced